Welcome back to the Drone Debris Recovery Podcast. I'm Mike.
Hey, my name is Kevin, and in this week's podcast, we talk about the legal things that are happening in Pennsylvania. We actually talked to a pilot in Pennsylvania who gives us his perspective. We talked about Louisiana, and you've probably seen a story that the Louisiana Game Commission put out about 3 men poaching. There's more to it than what you'd read in that article. We get into it. We talk about this shirt, how you can win a free Matrice drone, and about the expos we're going to be at and how we'd love to meet you at one of those. So stick around and we'll get into it.
All right, welcome back to the Drone Debris Recovery Podcast. Today we're going to be talking with Dallas from Pennsylvania. He's a thermal drone operator over there, and we're going to have a conversation about the situation that's going on in Pennsylvania. Because let me tell you, there is a situation. Like, you talk to one warden, it's cool. You talk to the next, it's not. You got to set up a sting operation to try to get a guy in trouble with his drone. Like, come on, really? Like, is that what's up? How's it going, Dallas?
It's going great. Hey, thanks for calling me. It's awesome to talk to you again.
Yeah, not a problem. Have you been staying busy with doing drone debris recovery stuff over there?
Oh, my word. It's been, well, I'm borrowing your phrase, it's been wild. Like,
it's been wild.
Cliche, but dude, it's nuts. Like, don't ask my wife, but she kept track of how many nights I went to bed with her in November. I think I was home for 5 nights total. Wow. In the whole month of November. It was just crazy.
Okay, wait. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it. There's people that comment and want to know how much are people actually making doing deer recovery, because they think it's a scam, that these people aren't making money. It's just Mike Yoder out there blowing this whole thing up, like making it sound like you can make a bunch of money, and people really aren't making money. So is that the truth with you? You're not making money? You're just not going to bed with your wife and just out there doing this for free, or what?
Yeah, that is the furthest thing from the truth. You can make about as much money as you want. Like, the demand is there, the value is there, the word of mouth is spreading like wildfire. I've been so busy. I've been turning people away, contacting other pilots in the surrounding area, say, hey, can you do this job tonight? Like, I can't do it all. Like, and my wife, it's just times when I just had to say no. And people have been so graceful and gracious and understand that, like, I've been going, I don't know how many all-nighters I did, like over 24 hours this year, until I completely crash.
Yeah. I mean, that absolutely sounds like it. Like you said, like, it's whatever somebody wants to do. Like, if you don't want to be out all night, get up at 2 o'clock in the morning when a hunter calls you, you're not going to make money. It is a grind. It absolutely is. So, dude, that is cool to hear. Absolutely great. Do you know how many recoveries you have done personally this season?
Oh, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'd have to go back and look at all my records. But I mean, we're talking, I'm saying probably 40s. Wow. I mean, it's somewhere up there.
Nice. Yeah. So you would say
I was gone. Oh, sorry. No, I was gone on an elk hunt from the last week of October to the first week of November, like the worst week to be on. And I still did that many. Oh,
wow. Yeah. But you would say that you paid your drone off?
Oh, I've been blessed, put it like that. I've been blessed.
Nice, awesome, good deal. So, Kevin, you got anything to add?
No, it's good to hear from you. You are doing these recoveries in Pennsylvania, Dallas. You have been for some time. Are you worried about what's happening in Pennsylvania?
Well, I wasn't, because I had a warden out with me the one night, totally chill.
You had a warden out with you.
Sorry. Sorry. What happened? What'd you say?
I just said you had a warden out with you on a carcass recovery.
Yeah, we were out there one night, and he stopped out, checked everything out, said, you got a fantastic setup, and not a problem in the world. You have a fantastic night.
Yeah.
And not an issue in the world. Then the next month, or well, it was the next month, they're doing a sting operation in another part of the state. So it's like, which warden are you going to get?
Yeah, yep, exactly. That's what it comes down to, and that's what's so frustrating about this. It's and I don't want to make this podcast again about like bashing wardens, because that is not what I want to do. But it's like, they have discretion on how they want to interpret the law. And one warden can say, fine, go do it. And then the next is like, nope, gonna lock him up, gonna take his drone. It's like, guys, if you're for conservation, right? A warden should be for conservation. That's 100%. What he should be. That's what he should be doing. And to intentionally set a guy up to take his equipment, that doesn't sound like conservation at all to me.
No, it's ridiculous. It's not having the animals in the best thought, and the hunters, they're not thinking about, I don't know what they're trying to think about, but they're not thinking about the hunting community and at all in these interpretations of the law. I mean, everybody I have talked to, flown for, is blown away, extremely thankful for what I'm doing, and they're like, why haven't we had this before?
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to get into, there was a memorandum released by a senator, right?
Yep, Garrett Coleman.
Okay, yeah, like fill us in how the conversation went and, what's about to happen.
Well, you can thank yourselves for this, because this senator got wind of your Illinois video, and that's how this all started. He saw your Illinois spoof that you did about Illinois DNR, and is like, you mean we can't do this in Pennsylvania? Boom, started the wheels turning, started talking to people, and he's a hunter himself, and put this memorandum in the works. So wow. That's how it all came about.
So how's that going to affect the guy that had his drone taken from him?
Well, I don't know how that's going to affect, because the senators are already have wind of this and are on board with this. And the more senators we can get co-sponsoring this memorandum, I mean, it's going to spread like wildfire.
Yeah. Okay. And so how do we do that to get more senators to co-sponsor this? Do you, like, how do we get people to do whatever they need to do to talk to their senators?
Well, everybody, all the hunters in Pennsylvania, what they need to do is just go to your local senator map. I sent the link to Austin there of all the PA senators in their districts. So everybody has a district, which the senator is representing that district. Find them, email them, call them. I actually got to talk to the one, which is awesome. Super nice guy. He was not aware. He just knew that there was a problem that you weren't able to. It was supposedly a law that you couldn't find a carcass with a drone. He's like, that's absurd. So I was the first one he's talked to that was an actual thermal pilot, and I filled him in on why it's important, the value it brings, and why we need this so bad. He's like, this is a no-brainer. This is a game changer. Like, we need this.
Yeah, and we want people to reach out to their senators, even if they're not pilots, right? A sportsman, a hunter himself should reach out to them, because it is a valuable tool to him when he needs it to, hopefully he doesn't need a thermal pilot, but if he does in the future, he should be able to use it.
Yeah, the time to do something is now, not when you've shot a deer and you need to go find it.
I've had those type of people all of a sudden in a pinch. They're like, give me a call and be like, wow, this was like the best thing ever. Like, even if you're not a pilot, you're a hunter, this is for our rights. The Game Commission is serving us.
Yeah. Or they should be. I mean, there's definitely times when I question who they're serving, but they definitely should be working for we the people.
But then we the people also need to be active, call our senators, make it known what we think should happen, and what's best for the sport and the industry. So we definitely have a part to play, and we can't complain about anything that they're doing until we've done our part.
Yeah, I know.
So anybody in Pennsylvania, you need to pick up the phone, you need to write an email.
Yep, absolutely. And you have that contact to where we can put it on the screen, and so that way people can see their senators.
Yep, we'll put it on the screen. It'll be in the description as well.
Okay, and then also I'm going to put this out there. There is a BGZ board meeting. So there is a Pennsylvania Game Commission board meeting being held January 26th and 27th in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And anybody can come to that meeting and let them be heard. Like, talk to the Game Commission, let them be heard what you think about using thermal drones. So I'm putting this out there. I plan on being there, and I would say if you're in the area, if you're a sportsman, if you're a drone pilot, and you are in Pennsylvania, show up at that meeting and let the game commission, the board members know what you think about this technology. So that it says that on January 26th and 27th, Emerton Avenue, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, January 26th. Time isn't announced yet, but usually starts at 8 a.m. So I don't know, is it an all-day event about hearing people out? But I think a ton of people should show up and should let them know like what they think.
Yeah, because the narrative is it's only ever being used for abuse, and it's not the case. It's being used to recover carcasses. Otherwise, wouldn't be recovered, and that needs to be communicated clearly by people.
Dallas, were you aware of that board meeting that's going to be happening that I just talked about?
I didn't know the exact date. No, I know they have board meetings throughout the year. I didn't know the date, but that is awesome. That is a huge, important date to remember. I mean, if we could pack that place out, that would be insane.
Yep. So we will we'll publish that on some of our social platforms when it gets closer, and you guys can share that. But I plan on showing up myself and talking to him because there was a couple different ways that guys were telling us to try to do this. It was the nice way, have meetings and talk to these people. But the Pennsylvania Game Commission, I reached out to them when we first started. We weren't a big thing yet, and never once did they reach out to us and want to talk. But now, right now, there's tons and tons and tons of people that are doing this, and now they want to, do sting operations. And it's like, you're going to have a public meeting. We're showing up and we're going to talk about it.
Well, and just to go on that, like part of what's frustrating with that is like the pilot who was, had his drone taken away. He reached out to the commission, asked what their stance is, had his attorney, he hired an attorney. He asked for a letter of opinion or something like that from the commission. Never got any response.
The letter of opinion. They were going to send us a letter of opinion.
Nothing.
Never ever heard anything from them.
You go from that to requesting, the official stance of the department. Hear nothing. To going to be set up and have your drone taken away. It's just not right.
It definitely is not right. So anyhow, that date again is January 26th and 27th. I think the 26th is when they open it for public speaking. But as we get closer to that date, we'll try to get it narrowed down and times and stuff to be out there. So anybody in Pennsylvania, sportsman, drone pilot, I would say show up. Let your voice be heard on why you think that this should be used.
And this issue in Pennsylvania it's coming to a head in Pennsylvania, but I think it's especially important because the way that some of these first states rule on this might set kind of an example for other states. So what's happening in Michigan is super important. What's happening in Illinois, what's happening in Pennsylvania. Those are all really important for the industry and for all states, not just for those states.
Couldn't agree more. Hey, Dallas, do you have something else you'd like to add into this situation where they did the sting operation, or just let us know how you look at this from a Pennsylvanian that lives there and does deer recovery in that state?
Well, it's unsettling because when you have one warden say one thing and then they do a sting operation, and the sting operation, what they're trying to get him for, if you interpret the law the way they interpret it, the sting operation wasn't even effective because there wasn't even a deer. It was just all fake. So it's unsettling that they're trying to go that low and to get people with sting operations when we are not doing anything wrong. The pilot is a salt of the earth dude, would never do anything wrong. And is trying to think in the best interest of the hunter and the sportsman and ethical harvest of deer. This is not hunting. It is no way. We're not doing anything wrong. And so it blows my mind that they're trying to go above and beyond just to try to stop. We're not guiding somebody in with a drone to kill a deer. This isn't that. That is completely different. It just blows my mind. And we got to let our voice be heard, because if we can sit on the couch and whine, but if we don't go let our voice be heard, then it's useless.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So I guess me and Kevin are going to keep this conversation going on the other side. We got to talk about some Louisiana situation down there with drones as well. I don't know if you've heard about it or not. Have you heard anything about a guy getting his drone taken in Louisiana?
No, I didn't. What now?
Yep. So we'll get on that conversation as well. It's kind of just a situation as well of a pilot wanting to help a guy, help recover a buck that was hit in the guts. And long story short, they ended up taking his drone and charging everybody involved. So
oh my word,
we got to get the full story out there, because if you read the story that the Louisiana Fish and Game released, it straight up makes it sound like the guy used the drone to go poach a big buck, and that's not the case at all. But Dallas, I appreciate your time hopping on here. We will keep you guys posted. We'll help you guys out as best we can, all drone pilots and stuff, and let us know if there's anything else we can help you guys with.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call and just bringing awareness to this state. I mean, this is a huge state, because what this state does, Maryland might follow, and I know the guys in Virginia have a program that's really good, but I mean, this PA has a lot of hunters, and we have a lot of sway. So if we can get this state right, I mean, it could be a trickle-down effect from there to the rest of the states to agree.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. Thanks, Dallas, so much. Have a good day.
Good talking, Dallas.
I appreciate it. You have a good one.
All right. So, yeah, talking with Dallas there, obviously you can hear, he's doing this himself. He's trying to say, how's this make any sense? He had a warden right next to him doing a recovery, and he's like, good job. I think
him the best of luck.
Yeah. And then the next guy, anyhow, we're going to go back and forth on that whole thing.
And I guess just to update our audience, as far as you know, in that whole development of that game warden confiscating the drone, is what's new on that? Is there anything new? Any updates on that?
Not any updates other than I think it was Lancaster Farm Journal or something that released the story, which also helped get more publicity out there, which I think also helped with some of the senators. Originally, he has now been cited. They gave him a citation, but he didn't know about these citations till after that story came out, which is just ridiculous.
He found out about it from the story.
Yes, 100%. Yep.
Wow.
Because the writer actually contacted the Pennsylvania Game Commission, or the Fish and Game, whatever it's called, and they told him what his charges are before they even told Josh,
the pilot being charged.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's just not a good experience so far. Josh, he's had to put a bunch of jobs on the side. Well, they obviously went and gone, came and gone on pet recoveries. He literally that night when he got his drone taken, he had pet recovery scheduled to go do, and they took his drone. It's like, come on, guys, we gotta. Anyhow, we just want to make clarity, right? We talked about it before. If you want to put rules and regs in place, let's talk about it, and get it figured out.
I mean, and it'd be hard to argue that when you have two game wardens in the same state with such different stances, that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be hard to argue that, from the state's perspective. Yeah. At the very least, make clarity, get everybody on the same page.
Well, it's discretion of the officer. Yeah. They have so much.
But dude, that is so much discretion. I mean, that is crazy to go from confiscating to congratulating. It's I'm going to come out, see what you're doing. I will either confiscate your crap, or I'm going to congratulate you on what your business is.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's 50-50, right? Every time you get called out to a different, county or whatever, I'm either being congratulated or it's going to be confiscated. But it'll be interesting either way.
It is crazy. Yeah, if you break it down like that, it's just it is wild. It is it's never been done before, and we're here to get things figured out and keep moving this industry forward, because the drones are not going to go away. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to stop. And so, let's get it figured out, Pennsylvania. Thanks so much for listening to this story. Let's hop into the situation that's going on in Louisiana, because I want to bring you guys up to speed on this. Individual sent me a story that 3 men in Louisiana have been charged using a drone to poach a big buck. If you read Louisiana's story on this, it just sounds like that. where they used a drone to go out and find this big buck and then go shoot him and kill him. I spoke to the pilot and I spoke to the customer. I did not talk to the dog guy. So there's 3 people that are involved. There's the hunter that shot the buck. There is the thermal drone pilot that was hired in. And then there's also a dog tracking guy that was hired in on the same deer. So I had a conversation with the pilot and the hunter, and I was going to release that audio, and we will at some point, but they were advised by their attorney to not release it as of yet, but they did say I am allowed to try to fill you guys in on what the full story is.
Yeah.
On that. So it goes something like this. If you read, like I said, read Louisiana Game and Fish, their article, it just sounds like a drone was used to poach a big buck, but that's not the case. This hunter was hunting this buck for 3 or 4 years. It's in an area where there's houses around, and he used a bow and shot this buck, and right away knew that he hit him back, and he shot him through the guts. So he tried finding and couldn't find the deer. He contacted a thermal drone pilot. Thermal drone pilot comes in and finds the buck. Like it right away, not long, found the buck. Buck's still alive. You can literally clearly see that the buck is shot back in the guts, and there's blood dripping out of its guts area. The buck is not dead yet. So Hunter decides to leave the buck overnight and come back the next morning to try to recover him. But before he did that, he called the wardens. I guess he goes to church with some of these wardens and called them and was like, hey, this is the situation. What's going on? I hit this buck. I hit him back. I had a drone come in to find him. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right because I don't want to be, doing something wrong where you come and take my buck away. The wardens were, as soon as they heard drone, something about that alerted them that, oh my gosh, I don't know that they not supported or whatever, but they didn't like it. Basically, I want to give you guys the story from their side because it's hard for me to remember all this. I'm busy with other things, but there's more to the story than just a drone coming out and finding a big buck. The buck was already shot. The buck was found with the drone. The buck was still alive. The hunter gave it some time, tried tracking it, could not find it. He was like, I need to do everything I can to try to recover this buck. Yeah. He hires the drone back again and finds the buck after he had tracked him not far from where he was tracking him, and then figure out that the buck was still alive. Then he hires in Louisiana, you can hire a dog to bay the deer. They bay the deer. They shoot the drone is on the ground before that. There's a few things there that the pilot wishes he would have done differently. But the drone was in the sky watching the deer. Dog shows up, drone lands, dog guy goes in, bays the deer. Dog tracker shoots the deer. Because the dog tracker didn't want the hunter shooting over his dog, and chance killing his dog. So, so then, the killer of the deer is actually a different guy than the hunter, and that's why they cited 3 different men. Yeah. So they cited the drone pilot, they cited the hunter, and they cited the dog tracker. So, bad situation. Because again, here it was a hunter. He's a good guy. He owns a business. He's known in the town. He's not a bad guy. He's never been charged with anything.
Well, and it just tells you something. If they contact the game wardens, right? They're proactive about calling them.
Yeah.
They go to church together. I think I overheard him saying, I'm known in town. It's not like I'm out there hiding. It's like you do all the right things, all the right channels.
Yeah, there was one weird thing that in the conversation somewhere that the warden told him that if the deer is alive after 24 hours, even if you've got shot the deer, if he is alive after 24 hours in the state of Louisiana, you cannot pursue that deer any longer. Like where? How do they come up with that? So I just don't. Some of these things that I heard in this phone call just did not make any sense at all. We do want to bring you guys that phone call But as of right now, the attorney asked
it makes
us.
sense why he wouldn't want to have that conversation shared yet if there's legal, like, they're going to fight it and whatever. Yeah.
So that is bringing you up on speed. It is not just 3 guys going out there using a thermal drone to find a big buck and just go shoot it.
If you were going to do that, you probably wouldn't call the game warden.
Yeah. No.
So.
Yeah. So that being said, I want to, let you guys know on that Louisiana story. I never thought that when I started drone deer recovery that so much legal stuff would come to us at Drone Deer Recovery to get our opinion, to help with situations, to get senators involved, to get lawyers involved. But you know what? I'm so friggin' passionate about drone deer recovery that if this is what it takes to have to do podcasts, that make videos to bring awareness, I'm gonna do it. And so that's what we want to do here at Drone Deer Recovery, is help, lead, and educate. And if this is the part of it, then we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and hopefully it's just a phase, right? Hopefully it's just a season. Maybe, in 12 months, hopefully this is all past us. One can hope, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we hope it's not going to be like this forever. But, states are trying to adapt to new technology. And what I would say to the viewer is, if you have issues, questions about legality in your state, we can't give you legal counsel because we're not attorneys. Yep. So you're going to hear us say again and again through emails or text or phone or whatever, hey, I can't give you legal counsel, but maybe there are some things that we can help with. And so if you do have questions, we can maybe tell you what we've done in Ohio. We can, I know like in Michigan, had an attorney reach out, different states, attorneys reach out saying, hey, attorneys saying, I believe this is wrong. And I would be interested in, if there's any way I can help, I'd be interested in case by case kind of seeing. So
that being said, did you see the email come in yesterday from the attorneys on the Michigan lawsuit?
I saw some emails. I'm not sure if the one that you're...
I think that Michigan DNR, I don't know what they're called up there, but I think they're coming around to probably let people know here soon that I think they're going to allow it.
Yeah, that is both. I don't know if that's the case. It's both good and bad, right? Because if you can get a judgment in a court of law, it makes it easier for it to be permanent than if it is... each administration can maybe change and goes back and forth.
Yeah. But I believe that with time, these agencies, these DNRs or Fish and Game or whatever they're called in your state, they do see the value. You just cannot deny it that there is value there for the sportsman. So with a little bit of time, right, and getting these videos out there and showing them how this is valuable, they're going to come around to it.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think, this is just me, I feel like what I read that I think Michigan's going to come around to it. I think so. But that's just me.
You heard it here first, I guess.
I don't know. I just, there's just too much good to not allow it.
Yeah.
And Michigan is a huge state with a ton of hunters. Yeah. Why would they not want this? Mm-hmm. But yeah. Anyhow, is that all we got, or we got ground chatter? No ground chatter. No ground chatter. Alrighty, that's all we got on this one.
Seems like we should talk about the T-shirt, the hoodie.
Yeah. Yep.
It's going to be wild. I mean, you heard Dallas say, he said not to be cliche, but it's been kind of wild.
Yeah, I say that all the time. It's going to be wild. We are doing a drone giveaway in the month of January.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to choose a person on January 31st.
Is it going to be exactly on the 31st?
It's going to be on the 31st.
I think I might be gone. I'm going on a duck hunt with Brayden.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You might be in a stand somewhere or something when we pull a winner out of the hats.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to choose a winner. They're going to get the Matrice, but not just the drone, the full batteries, landing pad, spotlight, all of that stuff. Plus...
this is the part where you just made this up, a consecutive decision. I
just decided this is going to be a good idea, so
It probably is a good idea. I mean, if you're getting a drone, why not get some training?
Yeah, why not get some training? So this whoever wins this drone, the lucky winner, they're gonna come to Ohio if they want to, and they'll spend a day learning how to fly it, learning how to questions they have about running the business, about marketing, and And hopefully we'll be able to produce some content, show you guys what it's like for somebody who, I mean, he knows he's gonna win it, right? But
Yeah. Yep.
what I think would be awesome if somebody with zero experience, never flown a drone, we could show them in just half a day. Give me half a day, or even a full day, and you can leave confident in knowing how to not only fly the drone, but effectively, grid search, use thermal, all the settings on your drone, but then also how to run a business. What your pricing structure, all these questions people have. What if in half a day you could go from zero to
knowing a lot?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think.
Okay. So how do they enter?
Yeah. So to enter, you just got to buy a shirt, right? You got to buy a T-shirt. You got to buy a hoodie. Whatever you want. There's different colors.
But they actually don't have to make a purchase. If they go to the website.
Yep.
And
you can read the official rules.
Yep.
You can also mail in a postcard or a letter. The official rules are right there, linked in the product.
Yep.
So you don't have to do a purchase.
It's just a lot easier.
It's easier. And I will say for these hoodies, like in the last 2 weeks, we upgraded our merch.
Oh, yeah. Quality, way better.
Like, this is my favorite hoodie now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not just saying that. It is like the softest.
Yeah, you probably haven't taken it off since since Christmas you got it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've washed it once, but that's about it.
Thought I smell you.
It's a good hoodie, basically. Like, you're going to love it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yep.
How have you been over Christmas?
I've been all right. I've been driving. I got home yesterday from, I don't even know how many miles. I would say well over 1,000 miles. I was doing herd analysis in multiple different states. I had a really good time. Christmas had a bunch of stuff going on, right? My brain just never stopped. So Christmas this year didn't feel like it did in years past because just the busyness. But I feel with time, we'll get systems in place and things will be a little bit more dialed in. But this year, I felt a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, not the best Christmas ever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You just got back from
I got back from kind of celebrating Christmas with my family in Kansas over New Year's, and I'd probably say the same. It's really hard. I mean, you can never truly disconnect, and anybody who started a business, they know this.
Yep.
But in some ways, man, those carefree days of, it's like, hey, I got 2 weeks off. Don't have to think about anything work related.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I didn't think about something.
Yep. So, but man, 2024,
I'm excited.
I think probably the thing that I'm most excited about in 2024 is we're putting in place a significant effort in educational content. Unlike anything, that we've done in 2023, and I think unlike anything really available in the market currently. You're going to see a lot of, I'm going to go ahead and put this on record. You're going to see courses and modules from everything on how to run the business side, how to run, different drones.
Nice.
Thermal, I think down the road, maybe we'll even do roof inspections. Thermal application is amazing. You see us do one use of it. There's also more uses for it. So,
agricultural too, though. That's coming too. There's so many people that are going to be getting into the ag side, and we want to teach you.
Yeah, you told me how much do people spend in?
Karen just read it this morning. Just in the state of Pennsylvania, there's $106 billion spent
every year,
spent or made in Pennsylvania in the agricultural side.
Agricultural related things.
Yeah, so probably corn and beans and equipment. Yep. Yeah. That's insane. That's one state.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, and think about a technology that's really revolutionizing a whole industry. It'll be interesting to see where it goes, but we're betting it's gonna be big. It's gonna be wild.
Oh, it's gonna be wild. Yep. So on agricultural drones, I do want to mention this. I spoke to a guy yesterday in Iowa. They did an analysis on 3 different applications. One was a ground rig. The other was an airplane and a helicopter, and the other was a drone. And the data they got back from it, nowhere close. The drone smoked everything. So it's just like when we start seeing that data year after year come in, farming drones, I'm telling you.
It might take a little while for farmers to jump aboard, but then at some point, it's going to be like the tipping point where that's just going to be like
the normal.
Boom. It's going to be there. So we should say, I mean, we had Dallas on from Pennsylvania. We should say we're going to be in Pennsylvania, right? At a show?
Oh, yeah.
We should talk about that.
We can let you know.
We're going to be at a bunch of shows this season.
Do you have that list? We should probably have the list in front
let me pull it up.
So next weekend. Next weekend we'll be attending the ATA show. We're not going to have a booth. We're just going to go and network and
Hopefully
really
make
see
some good connections.
Yeah, see what it's, see if we want to have a booth there. And then the first expo that we're going to be at is going to be in Ohio.
Northeast Ohio Sportsman Show.
Yep.
January 17 to 20.
Yeah, so if you guys want to come out and see us, we're going to have a brand new booth. We're going to talk drones. We're going to have drones there. You know, touch it, feel it, see what you think.
See for yourself.
Yep.
That's something we've been getting a lot of is, even a year in, people, they just want to see it for themselves, see it real life, and then they're like, oh, okay, no, I had no idea. I've seen the videos, I just didn't I didn't know it was actually
that's
clear.
like yesterday I was doing a herd analysis. Guy showed up because he said, like, Mike, I'm a buyer that I need to see it before I can just do it, and is very valid. I mean, it's $13,000. Like, I totally get it. So he had some valuable information. Like, we might be doing field days where we will say, hey, we're going to be in Iowa on these days and we're doing a field day. If you want to come out and see how the technology works, come out and check it out. So that's something that you guys want to, watch out for, because we might be doing that. That way it gives you guys like hands-on and you can see this stuff for sure.
Great American Outdoor Show is February 2nd to February 10th. That's a long one.
Okay, so that is after the Mount Hope show.
Yep. That's the first week of February. So, I mean, we're going to be in Pennsylvania, hoping, bring awareness.
Yep.
Just bringing education. Hopefully, making an impact.
That's a big show. So if you guys want to see us,
come meet us.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll both be there.
I don't know if I'm going to be there every single day. So
it's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we'd love to meet you guys. And then we'll be in Indiana. The Midwest Sportsman Classic, February 15 to 17, and possibly
there's one in Ohio after that. I think it's in March.
Yeah, March 14 to 16.
Yeah,
we'll be in Columbus, Ohio. So
yep, that's called the
we may
open
add
season.
Other shows, but for now, that's what we have planned. Really appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys sticking around, watching, being a part of this thing.
Yeah.
2024, I think, is going to be a huge year, both in legislation and then just adoption.
Yep.
I think in 2023 it was pioneering.
Yep.
2024 I think is going to be a lot more large-scale adoption. Pilots and hunters, and then also we'll see drones making their way into other aspects of life.
Yep.
That's my prediction.
Yep. I agree. I think that's true. We'll see more states going toward the end of the year, fall, when the season's open, they're going to start coming out with my prediction is that they will allow thermal drones for the recovery of carcasses. Yeah. So I'm excited about it for sure. But
so we'll see if we're organized enough. We'll actually play these predictions 12 months from now. We'll see. We'll see what it's been like. So
cool. Alrighty. Thanks for listening, watching, subscribing. Give it a thumbs up.
Give it a thumbs up. Yep.
And leave a review. Let us know how we did, and let us know what you'd like us to talk about next. But that's what's coming up. Lots to talk about. Agricultural season is coming, and so we're going to be bringing a lot more probably ag side of things here shortly.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
On to the next one.